Hello friends, this is Cara-Renee with B.Reborn Art and Healing, coming to you with another tutorial. I'm working on the Winter Wonder Journal, and so today we're going to be making this cute little waterfall interactive piece, but within an envelope, because when I make these I always struggle with how do I keep it flat? How do I keep it closed? And so I thought, what better way than to go ahead and just put it on an envelope, in an envelope, with the flap being the closure. So this is what I did with the prototype. So let me just untie this so you can see. So basically is all I've done is I cut the top of the envelope open. I covered the flaps, I covered the base, and I covered the back. And I'm covering the back because I'm not sure if I want to have it be a floating piece in the journal or if I want it to be glued down. So that's why I did that. And so then I just built my little accordion or my little waterfall mechanism here. It's not the kind that pulls with it automatically flipping up like I've done in the past, but it's got all these beautiful flaps. Look at these images. These are from Kleeblatt Creations. I have a hard time saying that. My apologies, but it will be linked below. So these are some of the images from the kit. And so we've got nice writing space here. I still used, uh-oh, we got a stickage here. We got some glue there. Okay. Anyway, we can still write here even though it is not, you know, just a coffee dyed paper. But I am loving this very, very much. Now, mine are not completely even. Perfection is not at play in the studio, guys. So don't worry about it. Just do your very, very best. I also put a large tag in here with this beautiful girl, which I used in the first video for this journal series. So there we go. So let's go ahead and get going. We're going to make 2 on camera because I do need to start making 3 of everything. If I'm doing a 2 signature journal, I need to make 3 of everything. If I'm making a 3 signature journal, I may need to make 4 of everything, because in the new year I'm going to make a reference journal. I need to be holding on to a prototype of everything that I make. I'm having to go back to my videos to remember what I've created in the past. So, because I don't keep my journals, I give them away. So, or sell them. I've sold very, very few though. So there we go. So what I am going to do different on one of the 2 that we're going to make on camera is instead of doing the sari silk wrapping or the seam binding wrapping around, preventing it from being able to be glued in the same manner, I'm going to try to do kind of another bit of paper here with an eyelet and have it tie here and just put that piece underneath the top panel here. So hopefully that will make more sense here in a minute. We will see. I'm going to grab my quarter rounder too, just in case when I get to that point I want that. So I have, the only thing I have prepared off camera is the waterfall pieces. So this is some of the seam binding that I just received again from my scrap cabin shop. I get all of my seam binding there. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. And she's fast. So fast. So I really like that. So I've got a couple eyelets there too. So let's go ahead and get started with one of these. Let's go ahead and do this one. It doesn't really matter which one we start with. I've got my trimmer over here. I might pull it over, but I've got this glass mat here, so it does get in the way. So I think I'm going to just set it right there, and I'll just kind of go off camera when I need to cut. I also have my scoreboard because we are going to need to score the top edge of each of these waterfall pieces. So we've got our envelope. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with cutting our pieces for covering the actual envelope. So I have already trimmed off, oh, I thought I trimmed off all the white. Apparently I did not on these 2. So let me do that really quick. I hope you guys are doing okay. Today is Thursday, December the 21st. Boy, that didn't work so well. Goodness gracious. Something must not be straight in my other cut. Anyway, so yesterday was my first day of Christmas break, But we had our grandkids, 5 of our grandkids overnight on Tuesday night into Wednesday. So this is my first actual free day. And so I thought I would get in the studio early and get some things done. So there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and I wanted to use the same paper for all 3 bits of this that need to be covered, just because I wanted it to coordinate. But I think I'm going to have this be the base here for the front. So what I like to do is just mark it. So I'm just going to lay this out flat. Oh, I'm also going to score that. So we have a little bit of a gusset here. So let me just pull this over so I can show you what I mean. It's tricky on this smaller scoreboard, but let me find I was trying to find my stylus tool because this thing is so honkin' big. I don't think that's the right one for this, but I don't know what I did with it. You know, as per usual, I didn't put it back. I did not put it back, and it's not in my cup. I don't know. So we're just gonna make do. I'm not sure what happened to it. That's really bizarre. Everything in my studio has a home, so when that happens, it's kind of odd. So I'm just gonna line it up so I can take a little bit of a little score mark here, and I'll show you here in a second. I can't go all the way because it's not quite tall enough, but I'm just going to bend that and then I'll show you what kind of a space we're getting here. So that's the space that we're getting. So it's just about 1/8 of an inch of a little bit of an expandable part of that envelope. So we're going to again start with this. So I like to set this on here, and I'm going to go right almost up to that the factory fold there. So let me ink that up so you guys can see. That's kind of difficult on camera, so let me just ink that really quick. And I'll ink the other one as well, in case you're following along. Come on. Yeah. Doesn't have to be perfect. So now we've got our 2 lines. So I'm again lining this up just short of that factory score line, factory fold. And I'm just going to grab my pencil. Whoops. And I'm going to make a mark here, leaving a little bit of a border, a little bit of the brown showing. So I'm just going to reach over here and slice that up really quick. I have a candle burning here off to my right, or my left. It's called Sugared Snickerdoodle. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, yum, yum. Okay, so we have that. So the reason why I wanted to start with this first is because I want to make my little closure too. So I think all I'm going to do is fold this in half. This is just an extra bit of that trimmed off. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to think about, it needs to be doubled for thickness, and it needs to be able to hang over the edge. So I'm going to fold this again like that. I'm still in my pajamas too, so don't be fooled by the little jacket. There are pajamas underneath. Yesterday when we had the grandkids, I stayed in my pajamas all day. So it's like, it's my break. I'm going to do what I want. Okay, so now I want to trim this down because I don't need it to be that long. So I'm going to trim it just about there. I'm hoping that this is going to work, and I'm going to round these edges, and I'm going to glue it together. Just going to create a little bit of a rounded bit there. And then let me go ahead and ink this. Probably doesn't need to be doubled, but you know, I don't want to take any chances. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue this together. I'm just improvising, guys. I've never really done this before, so hopefully it's going to work. Okay. I'm using the Barely Arts because I want a very fast stick here. In this case, usually I want a little bit of time to play around, but I don't need that this time. So we're also going to put our eyelet in before we glue it on. What happened there? Did it get off center there? Easily fixed. Maybe. Okay. And so now we're going to put our eyelet in. Boy, I keep getting that seam binding in my way. So I'm using the smaller hole. So I'm just going to slide that in there and just make a little eyelet hole. And then we're going to set the eyelet. The other one will do the way I did my prototype. I just wanted to try this just to see how it would work. It's not exactly even, but again, perfection is not at play. I don't worry about that. So I'm going to go ahead and set that. Okay. So now what we want to do is we want to stick this here so that it's already in place before we put our paper on. So let me grab my zero gravity ruler so that I can get the center of this envelope. So I'm just going to line this up here and see how wide is this envelope. We should be able to do this pretty easily. Well, it's 7 1/4, so that's not an easy measurement. Let's see. It's not 2 10. It's early in the morning. I'm clearly having trouble with this. It's about right there. And the reason I can tell that is this is my 0 and I'm 3 and then this much and then I'm 1, 2, oh, I'm not 3 over here. Yeah, I am. I'm 1, 2, 3 and that much again. Yep. Yep. Okay, so that's where our center of this is going to go. And I'm just going to hold this up because I can visually usually do pretty well with that, so that looks pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and attach that. Where did it go? There it is. And I'm going to attach it with my Barely Arts. And I'm just attaching it on this side of our little flippy. And I'm going to turn this so I can see it. And I'm going to set it on here. And I'm putting that center to my mark as best I can. Again, don't worry if it's not perfect. And then we're also going to go ahead and, while that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and bring this down and mark. Well, I can't do that yet because it's going to be covered over, so I gotta take off my jacket. It's hot. Oh my goodness, I'm all tangled up. Whew. Been running really hot for some reason. I'm not sure why. Okay, so let me go ahead and ink this up, and then I'll show you my shortcut when I'm doing these envelopes. I don't measure everything out. Once I get this panel on, I'm going to go ahead and just glue my paper on and then cut around the flaps of the envelope. It's just kind of a shortcut. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? A beautiful image. Oh, love it so much. Okay, so there, we're in place here. We're going to go ahead and glue this on. Now, we do want to keep in mind that we do not want to close this opening. Oh, I forgot to open it up. So let's do that. I'm going to just do it by hand because that trimmer that I have out is not the best. So I prefer my precision trimmer, but it's way too big to be on the table. Oh, I just cut that short. That's okay. So we want to preserve this opening, and so we're not going to put glue in this area. So I like to go ahead and do my Fabri-Tac here. I'm just going to set that on. We have wiggle room because we are using Fabri-Tac, and this paper is a little bit long. I just realized I did not trim it off. I need to do that, guys, because this is going to be a problem because I cut that opening, so now our paper is just a little bit too tall. So I'm just going to trim a sliver off, and I'll just re-ink that edge. Not a big deal. You know, as I say, where there's a will, there's a way. So let's put that back on. We should be good with our glue. Again, I don't look for perfection, so give yourself that grace if you can. And I'm just going to rub that out. Oh, that was upside down. I guess it doesn't really matter. It's not directional. I meant it to go, oh, it is directional because this is like a bulb. So perfect. That worked out fine. I'm going to ink this edge as well. There we go. Okay. So now we're going to cover the flaps. So I'm just going to pull over this piece, and I think I'm going to go like that. So basically what I do, my shortcut is I ink the edge that's going to go along here. Just the whole edge, just in case I want to fudge it one direction or another. If I want more of this or more of this, I can do that. But I think I'm going to go about right there. So I'm going to bring it all the way down to here. So I'm just going to put my Fabri-Tac here. Put this on, and we're going to go just almost right up to that that extra score line that we created. So I'll hold this up so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So see how I've not gone all the way up to either of those lines. I'm just shy of each of them, just so that we don't get any restriction there. So as I mentioned in the other video, I just absolutely love this digital, and this mixed media work is incredible. And then I'm just going to trim this off. Oh, where'd my scissors go? Oh, right there. I'm a little delirious. I'm still not feeling well. I came home from the last day at school feeling like total crap. Every student in our class, their runny noses and stuff were just at their worst, and I was wiping runny noses, and you know, every kid was blowing booger bubbles out of their noses, you know, just not on purpose, just the nature of their cold. And so I think I brought some of that home with me. I literally have not been well in like 5 weeks. I've had a cold for 5 weeks of varying types. So it's been crazy. Okay, so it's a little bit rough there. There we go. So let's just ink that up. So that's a really shortcut way to do this. Now, when you do it this way, though, you don't preserve that that little bit of a border that we got around the base, but that's okay with me. So let me go ahead and cover this and this. I am still going to cover this in case I want to have it be a floating piece. I'm not sure yet. So let me just do that really quick. I'll just speed up the video and I'll be right back. Okay, this is the last panel on this. I do want to mention that when we do the waterfall, I only did 8 little pieces of paper, and it didn't quite come down as far as I wanted, so I might extend those off camera, but that will make more sense here as I go along. I'll bring out the prototype again and show you what I mean. So it's early in the morning, guys. I haven't even finished my coffee, so my cutting skills are subpar. There we go. Set that over there. Ink that up. Oh, that's the side already inked. Okay. It's a great Happy Mail project as well. This is really, really sweet, and you could put quite a bit of ephemera in the pocket as well, because it's pretty reasonable sized. I don't think I made a journal card piece for this, which is fine. I'll probably just use one of those girls, and you'll be able to see that in the photos at the end. So there we go. So there is our little closure. Oh, I love that. I love that so much. Let's go ahead and tackle the closure while I'm feeling brave. This is not my strength, so I'm just getting my ruler out, and I'm just going to use the bottom of it here to figure out where I want my other eyelet center to go. So I think I'm going to go about right there. So hopefully I can see that when I punch that hole. Fingers crossed. Yeah, I can see the shine of the pencil mark. Hopefully I'll be able to see it as I do this. There we go. Where did you go? Where did you go? Boy, oh boy. You know what? I'm going to mark that with a black pen because I am not seeing that well enough to be confident. Right there, right there, right there. Okay. Just little tricks, little tricks. There we go. We're going to go ahead and punch that. And let's set this other eyelet. You do have to be careful doing what I'm doing in terms of punching holes and setting eyelets in a project that is still wet. I personally have not really run into a problem, but I also use heavier paper. I use a 65-pound paper, or at the very least 49-pound paper. So there is our closure all ready to go. Look at that. Looks amazing. I think it's going to be perfect. So, and that means I can also use a smaller piece of seam binding. I can just tie a little bow there. So let's go ahead and work on the waterfall. So I'm going to set this aside because we need to bring the scoreboard into view here. Sorry for the squeaky chair. I wish I could find my stylus tool because this is frustrating. Frustrating to me, or even at the very least the one that goes with this board. I just cannot seem to find it. Hold on. Is it in here? That one's a little bit smaller. I don't know, I put it in a safe place apparently, but that's okay. We'll make it work. Okay, so I've got these pieces. I've already made sure that they are as even as possible. And what I did is I took the kit and I printed 2 to a page, so that's why I get the smaller image. Okay. Oops. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. So I think I want this one to be my top. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll just do the scoring with this one time with you. I'm going to turn this completely upside down so that I can butt this up against this this edge, and I'm going to score it at the first mark, which is this one right here. I cannot read it for the life of me. Oh, that's the 1/4 inch mark. Yeah, we're gonna score at 1/4 of an inch. So these papers, in case you're following it along exactly, these papers measure, it might not be an exact measurement, 5 by 3.5, pretty good. And then our envelopes, the envelope size I'm using is 7 and 1/8, that looks like, or just about, and then 5 1/4. So in case you're interested in those measurements. So let's go ahead and score at 1/4 of an inch. So that's this first mark here, and I'm just going to go away from myself because I want this edge to guide me. So I'm just going to continue to go through these, and I'll be right back. Okay, this is the last one. I did have one that I scored that was in the wrong place, so I had to rescore it, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. Okay, so let's go ahead and just fold these all over. I'm going to get my good bone folder and give that a good crease so that it will lay well. So there we go. I'm going to go ahead and do these and ink them, and then I'll be right back with you. Uh-oh, I missed one. Okay. The jury's still out on whether I'll do the other one on camera. I'm not sure. I might just do it at the end and just let the video run, and you guys can rewatch if you want to. Totally up to you. I just feel like the only difference between the one I'm doing right now and my prototype is the closure. So I'm feeling like it might be beneficial to just save us all the time. It is Christmas time. Christmas is literally days away, and I know everybody is very busy. So I might just do the other one off camera and then show you in the photos at the end. So I'm also rethinking which one I wanted to have be my first one, because I want it to be something super complimentary. So see how we've got this blue edging here on this? I think that this one would actually be really, really pretty to be on the front here, because it'll bring out the blue over here. And so I'm thinking I want that one to be my top one. So the order of everything else doesn't really matter. All these have a lot of the same tones in them. I do want to make sure I don't get these two together in the same place. So let's go ahead and just kind of put them in a little bit in order here. Do that, and then we'll do that, and then we'll do that, and that, and that, and that. Sounds like a plan. Okay, so again, perfection is not at play, guys. So when I did my prototype, I just kind of visually estimated where my center was. The problem that I had here is, see how it's closer to the top here and farther here. So I think I'm going to bring my first one down a little bit so that I don't have to add. As I mentioned, I was thinking about adding more little flippies, but 8 is plenty, because that's basically 8 writing spaces. So I don't think we need to put more. So I'm just going to be more strategic here. So I'm going to come down a little bit further. So this one is just, what is that measurement? Let me see if I can find my ruler. It looks like about 1/4 of an inch. Yeah, it's just over 1/4 of an inch, so I'll go a little bit lower on this one. So I'm just going to I Spy it. I am using my Fabri-Tac because I want to be able to move these with freedom. So I'm just, and then you want to glue on, you're going to flip it over so that your folded part is up, and then you're going to reverse it like this and then set it down on your paper. I'm going to turn this a little bit just for ease, and then, well, it's kind of hard to see the middle that way. So I'm going to bring it down about there, and I'm just going to rotate that so that I can see if I am pretty even there. I'm going to pick it up and look at the top to make sure that it's pretty good there. That looks great. Okay. These are longer than my prototype, but that does not matter. And then when you're using Fabri-Tac, you have to worry about excess glue here, so just be mindful of that. And then let's just go with this one. Again, you're gluing on the back side of your little scored flappy bit. Excuse me. And I just bump this up there, okay? And then I'm going to kind of give it a press, not a solid commitment here. And I'm going to fold this down and look and see how even we are. Looks pretty good. I'm going to just fudge it just a little bit. Again, perfection is not at play. I don't care if it's perfect. So, okay, so we're just going to continue on in like fashion. I love this image as well. Look at that. Isn't that just so sweet? Oh, I printed another one of her kits. I'm going to probably use 2 and do a second winter journal, because her digitals are absolutely amazing. In fact, let me see how many. I stopped my printer so that I could do my video, but it's got fairies in it, or these beautiful women. Yeah, I stopped my printer before I got to the good stuff, just because I wanted to kind of hustle and get this video going without the printer running behind me. So again, I'm just going to flip this down and make sure it's sorted even. It's not, so I'm going to just fudge it a little bit, pull it back down, fudge it a little bit more. I'm gonna be happy with that. Okay, don't be concerned if they don't look even this way. My prototype, it was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Don't worry about it, because when it's laying flat, it all looked even. I love how these edges are looking already. So, love it, love it. I will definitely be putting these in journals in the future. But I seriously, one of my first things of the new year is going to be a reference journal. I've got to start keeping some of my stuff. So, because I forget what I've made and how I've made it. And if at least if you've got a prototype, you can kind of reverse engineer what you did. So, just going to go that way just a smidge, and feeling good about that. Press, press, and then press, press. Okay, let's switch these up a little. Let's go ahead and use this one. So are you guys ready for Christmas? I think I'm finally done. As I mentioned before, my husband does all the wrapping, obviously, other than his own gifts. So I don't like to wrap. It does not bring me joy in any way, shape, or form. So I'm really grateful for him doing that. So I have to wrap his presents in the next day or so when he's not here. So I'm hoping that I'm going to have enough space, because these are longer. We might not have enough space, but we will see. This is the one that I scored. I scored in the wrong place, but it's not going to be that seamed, so I'm not worried about that at all. Just sliding that in there, and you're just bumping it up against the edge of that other one, the previous one. In case I didn't mention that. Oh, that was perfect. Yay. Okay, so let's go ahead and go with this one. Actually, these are similar, so I think I'm going to go with this one. Not that it matters. The top is just visually pretty to look at, to be honest, and I will embellish this off camera as well, because I don't have this stuff here ready to go. So oh, that was stickage. Watch that, guys. Just gonna make sure that nothing is gonna stick anything where it's not supposed to be stucked. Okay. So we do have room for the last. Oh, that's not even. Scooch. So again, the beauty of Fabri-Tac, guys, you get this opportunity to move things around, because my cutting is not perfect. So love that. I think we can squeeze the last one in. It's going to now be lower than the other one, but actually let's look at it and see if we want to squeeze it in. Let's look at what this looks like from top to bottom. I actually think I'm going to leave this last one out and just go with the 7, because I like the distance is the same here and here. So I like that look. So let's just, yeah, I love it. And so again, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, sometimes the struggle with this is, how do you keep this from popping up? So I've done a variety of ways. I've run seam binding along the back, I tied it at the front, but I thought, wow, perfect opportunity to do something different. So I think I'm going to use this really dark burgundy color. I just need a little bit. So again, this seam binding is from My Scrap Cabin. If you want to take a peek at that, My Scrap Cabin. Excellent, excellent product. So we're going to try to do this. We're going to try to thread this through that hole. Not bad. Not bad at all. And then we're going to feed it through this hole. And so again, by doing this, I can glue it down. I have both options without the closure getting in the way of anything else. I can glue it down, or I can leave it as a floating piece. So there we go. Boom. Just making sure those are even. And I'm going to tie a bow. And then I'm going to let you go. And as I said, I'm going to go ahead and just do the other one off camera, because I do still need 2 for the journal and 1 for my reference journal. So boom, there we go. Got a little rough bit there. Let me just trim that off and make this one shorter too. And there you go. Look at that. Is that amazing or what? You could do a little bit of decorating, put a word on here. I'm not going to overdo it. but I absolutely love it. If this was going to be a freestanding, a floating piece, you could also put a pocket on the back. I might do that with my other one and make it a little bit more of a stuffed thing. We've got a pocket here where I will put a large journal card in there. So that is a pretty wide pocket because this measures, what did I say, 5 1/4 inches. So you can easily make a 5-inch or just under 5-inch wide journal card or tag. So that is our project for today. Thank you guys so much for stopping by, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.